In part 1, we investigated the extraordinary claims made by Angel, a 16-year-old Las Vegas resident, of an alleged UFO crash and alien sighting said to have taken place just before midnight on April 30th, 2023. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll leave the link to part 1 down in the description. Though many of his claims have been quite thoroughly debunked, I ended part 1 with this peculiar video clip from the night in question. The shadows on the ground didn't really strike me as being all that out of the ordinary. What left me scratching my head was the sudden appearance of a dark, fuzzy blob just above the fence. Supposedly, the blob was the head of the alien peeking up from the other side of the fence. Though I was, and still am, strongly leaning away from any paranormal type of explanation for this particular case, I mentioned in part 1 that A Marzulli made an interesting point in favor of the alien explanation that deserved consideration. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to ask Mr. Marzulli if I could use this video clip, so instead I am going to be using an electronic voice for that so as to not run into any copyright issues. Apologies in advance. I know everyone hates electronic voices, but the link to his video can be found in the description. So here's what LA had to say.
Angel talks about this, that when the craft landed, everything was blurry. He knew something was in front of him. But it was like wearing glasses that don't fit you, and everything just gets blurry. But that's not what was going on. It wasn't Angel's eyes that were whacked out. Whatever was in front of the object, or the entities that were in the backyard, they were being blurred out. Is it possible that when the craft crashed, or whatever we're looking at there, that there's some kind of space-time displacement? What I think is happening, in this case, is that the gravity wave is still on, and the blurry effect is the fact that space and time are bending. That's conjecture on my part.
While this is a valid point in my opinion, it's highly speculative, and it doesn't seem to align with any other factor in this case. Taking into account everything we know about this incident, when taken as a whole, the picture to emerge seems to point to a far more down-to-earth explanation. That is, with the obvious exception that the meteor came from space. So how do we account for the seemingly anomalous shadows and the dark, fuzzy, blobby thing playing peekaboo over the fence? It didn't really strike me as being CGI or the result of any other form of digital manipulation. I racked my brain trying to figure out what could have caused the blob to appear. My first thought was an out-of-focus finger eclipsing the edge of the lens from the hand holding the camera phone. I figured this would be fairly easy to test, and right now you're looking at my attempted recreation of the video using my finger theory. Though the lighting wasn't quite the same, I'm fairly certain this is not a case of dark fuzzy finger, which incidentally would make a hilarious name for a medical condition, but I digress. I also wondered if it might have been the leg or the wing of a fly that landed too close to the lens. This theory would have been extremely difficult for me to test, so I submit it to you, my viewers, as nothing more than mere speculation to keep your mind occupied the next time you find yourself staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., or maybe that's just me. I decided to reach out to Parabreakdown to get his thoughts about the clip in question. If you're a subscriber of his, then you've probably already seen his analysis, but if not, he kindly gave me permission to include it in this video. Here's what he had to say.
Hi there. YouTuber Mad Cat Mysteries had made a pretty good debunk video of the backyard Las Vegas alien video, so go see it if you can. He sent me a note asking about the strange shadows in the video. The shadow question had been brought up by David O'Rourke in part 2 of his Vegas backyard video. He seemed to indicate that the shadow could not be explained and hinted at an extraterrestrial source, or at least one that he couldn't explain. And of course that's my opinion, but that's kind of what I got from his video. So here we are, and let's take a look at what he is talking about. But before we do, please like and subscribe. That means a lot to me. Do it now. I'll wait. Anyway, in the video, we see the last person in line passing through the fence. We can see the shadow pass from his lower left and below him, moving quickly from the left to the right. The secret to this is not to examine the shadow itself, but try to identify the light source that caused it. And in this, we can see that the young man passing through the gate has what I think is his cell phone with the flashlight on. We can clearly see light coming down onto his right arm from his cell phone, and it's his right arm that casts the shadow. Notice that the shadow moves with the movement of his arm. This also happens above him, but not to this degree, and it's much harder to see because it's reflective light. But that's it. That's what I think anyway. Thanks for watching.
So, have we adequately resolved this case? Is there a possible explanation we've missed? Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Also, please check out Parabreakdown's channel and give him a sub. You can find the link to his channel down in the description. I've always thoroughly enjoyed the quality of his content, his striving to uncover the truth, as well as his sense of humor, and I hope you will too. Hey everyone, I am at a bit of a crossroads with work right now with my, especially with my father as his Alzheimer's progresses. It's kind of getting to the point where I'm not really able to work a job that requires me to leave the house. So I am looking at work at home opportunities, and I already have a couple side hustles going. YouTube is one of them, obviously. Another one is I sell some plants on Facebook, and I'm thinking about opening up one or more Amazon web stores. So for those of you who are prayers out there, I'd really appreciate it if y'all would keep that situation in your prayers with respect to what I should do next. Now, I am really hoping that YouTube can eventually turn into a job with a full-time type income. However, I'm still not remonetized, and many of y'all have watched that playlist to get my watch hours back up, and I want to thank each and every one of you who has checked that playlist out, but I still need to bring my watch hours way up. So if y'all would be willing to help me out with that, I greatly appreciate it. I've created a playlist of some of my all-time favorite videos that I've made over the years, and you can find the link to that playlist down in the description as well as on the end screen to this video. Thank y'all so much. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Hey everyone, Drew here from Mad Cat Mysteries, and I hope you enjoyed the video you just watched. If you did, you can click on the subscribe button below. I'd appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.